Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Sal Stretford. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing well and everyone has recovered from the elements of last night, which was a Manchester United defeat at the hands of Nottingham Forest. Absolutely dreadful result. As we know, it's a dreadful result. Not going to sugarcoat it. Poor performance. But I want to know what is the problem with Man United? We have a serious issue here. A serious conversation. We need a serious conversation, guys, in regards to what is wrong with this Manchester United team. Look, we could talk about transfers, we could talk about players until the cows come home. But the underlying fact remains is that those players right there would walk into that Nottingham Forest side. So a lot of those players have been around the block, you know, and a lot of those players should walk into. I played for the likes of Bayern Munich, you know what I'm saying? I played for Argentina. You know, great football teams. There's players there who played for some great, for Real Madrid, you know, PSG. Those players have played for some great clubs. So we're going to have to ask ourselves, how can a team full of so many quality players yet again flatter to deceive? And partly I want to blame the players. I want to blame the manager. Or I don't want to blame the manager, but I want to blame the players. I do. Because then I start thinking about, are these players frauds? You know, are they not playing for the badge? Are they not running? Because we could talk about tactics all day long. We could talk about 3-4-2-1. We could talk about 4-4-2, 3-4-3. We can talk about that all day long, guys. But the fact remains is that it shouldn't really matter when you're playing a team like Nottingham Forest, right? Who don't have a penny between them. You know what I mean? One of our players probably earned more than the whole bloody entire team put together of Nottingham Forest. And I'm looking at the team and I'm looking, how comes these players are running more? How comes Nottingham Forest are running more? How comes those players are better, you know, prepared? How comes they're doing better set pieces than us, scoring from corners? And we can't even take a free kick. We can't even take a proper corner kick. I mean, it's delusional to think that, you know what, some of these players are better than they are, you know, or even as good as they think they are. Because at the end of the day, look, I'm looking at our captain and I'm looking at basically Bruno Fernandes and I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes and I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, do you know what? This player's not that good. But when he goes off the pitch, we're not that good either. When the substitutes come on the pitch, we're not better. We're not better. So we're looking at those players. I'm thinking, but these players are not rubbish. These players are international players. These players are walking into the Nottingham Forest team. We're looking at that, ain't we? So then I start looking at the culture of the football club and you start thinking about sinister reason. You start even going in the realms of curses and things like that. You know, I'm starting to think, are we cursed? Because I'm not seeing any change. I mean, we spent 2 years, 1.5 years talking about Erik ten Hag, how Erik ten Hag is the problem, how he's doing this, how he's doing that, how he's wrong about this, how he's wrong about that. We spent months doing that, didn't we? But what now? We're going to blame Ten Hag for that? We're going to blame him for that? Then you're going to say to me, oh, but they're his players. Really? There's some players there that are not his players. Rashford's not his player. Bruno's not his player. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we got to look at that and think, you know what, it shouldn't really matter, because then you look at the fact that the last 10 years, we haven't been great, have we? Regardless of what players we've got on the pitch. Regardless of what players we've got on the pitch, we haven't been great. You know what I mean? And you can make all the excuses in the world. The fact of the matter is, this is not on the Forest. We can lose to the likes of Arsenal and Man City and Liverpool, but you know, you can have excuse for that they're more prepared, you know what, they are more developed in their progress and stuff like that, etc. But then you think about Man United against Nottingham Forest. It's a game we should really win. To be honest, if you're Nottingham Forest were relegation candidates, yes, they've done okay this season, but they've been in bad form recently. And I expected Man United to comfortably win the game yesterday. But you know what? We didn't only lose the game, but we lost the game comfortably ourselves. You know, we weren't even in that game, really. You know, we weren't trying. We weren't busting a gut. We weren't pressing. And then I'm thinking about effort. And I'm thinking about fitness. And I think, you know what? Are these players fit enough? Have they got the effort? What's going on? You know what I mean? Because we were told for many, many months that these players run too hard. Erik ten Hag works them too hard. He runs them too hard. It's too hard. Their training is too hard. He needs to calm down on the training. But then you look at that and you see, how comes Nottingham Forest are running more than us? How comes every single team we play against runs more than us? It doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't. And one thing I'm looking at, and I'm saying, how do we fix this, guys? How do we fix it? We can have all the excuses. We can talk about Ten Hag. We can talk about the players. We can talk about the manager. We can talk about everything in regards to the football club. But that, you know what? The bottom line is we should show more of an authoritative manner against a team like Nottingham Forest, who we should be beating comfortably. And it's not only Nottingham Forest, guys. It's been Ipswich Town, teams like that, of that nature, Brighton and Hove Albion. We've played against a lot of teams this season, and I'm flattered to deceive. The same old problems arise in this football team over and over again. It's the same old, same old, same old. And what is going to change? We've got a great manager, guys. Look, I don't want to hear any rumblings about the manager. And I'm pleased that the manager came now. I'm pleased that he's our manager now. I'm pleased that, because you know why? Because he came in now, so he can separate the bad eggs from the good eggs. Basically, the bad apples from the good apples. He can separate them. And by the start of next season, hopefully, fingers crossed, all the bad apples will be at the football club and he'll have his set team there, rather than starting next season and starting like we are right now. Because this is a brutal exploitation of what we are right now, you know, which is an absolute farce and mess. Those players are absolutely finished at this football. I'm not only talking about, you know, the older players. I'm talking about a lot of those players in there. I literally can count on one hand how many players I would keep at this football club. It's a lot easier to do that. But that doesn't mean that they're untalented. Those players are talented. But is it a mental thing? Is it an effort thing? Is it a fitness thing? Are they overrated? Are we overrating them? But some of these players are you know what, are seasoned professionals. Played in the biggest level, the highest level, Champions Leagues, Champions League, Europa finals, Euro finals, and Champions League finals, and you name it. It's just, it beggars to believe, doesn't it? It really does, absolutely. Let's get to some of your comments, guys. Let's get through these comments quickly. Big up, Sal. What's going on at Darker? How you doing, Hammer? And can't keep up losing points in the context. To know that the players as will result into disastrous position in the table, disappointing. This is what Aram said. He did say that we're going to suffer pain before it gets better. Well, we're suffering right now, of course, guys. Yes, it is. It's a number of things. Is Bruno a good player? Darkro, look, I'm going to be totally brutal with you guys. I don't think Bruno's an elite player. But then again, when you think about Bruno, when he leaves the pitch, do we improve? Ask yourself this question. Do we improve? Does Mason Mount do the job effectively? Does Xerxes do the job effectively? And your answer has to be no. Sometimes. So we can take Bruno out the team, but you know what? We need ready replacements in there who are going to actually improve the team, because at the moment, I'm looking at the team and I think we take Bruno out the team and the team doesn't improve, does it? You know, I know Bruno is a little bit overrated. I know that. I mean, people will bring up Portugal. He does well for Portugal. Who against? Belarus, Estonia, Luxembourg, San Marino. Who does he do well against? But when it gets tough, he goes missing. Simple as that. Name me one time he's done something for Portugal in a crucial game. I'm talking about Euros quarterfinals, Euro semi-finals, things like that. When? And we have to look at that. You know what I mean? It's all well and good stat padding against the Luxembourgs and you know, Estonians and Scotland and teams like that. It's all good doing that. But you know what? When you come up again, when the going gets tough and it's down to the crunch and you're playing tough teams, when you need you the most, he's throwing his arms around. But at the same time, I look at it and think, but who's going to replace him? Who's going to do better than Bruno Fernandes? You know, what other player can come in there? You know what I mean? And improve the team. Because what I'm seeing at the moment is that players are coming in there and they're not improving the team. Mason Mount is not improving the team. Xerxes not improving the team. You know, it makes me think, doesn't it? You know, what's going? Rashford, Marcus Rashford, my goodness me. This guy, please tell me something. Tell me something positive about Marcus Rashford. Tell me. Because at the end of the day, he comes on the pitch, strolls around and doesn't affect the game. That guy's 27 years old, guys. He's been there for all his life. He's meant to be Mank, born and bred, Man United fan. What does he do when he comes on the pitch? I see no busting a gut. I see no tackling. I see no, you know what, effort. I see no putting your foot in where it hurts, challenging for headers. That's all it takes. A spark. That's all it takes. You know what I mean? But I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Week in, week out, week in, week out, of course. Good morning, Isley. How you doing, my friend? Good morning, sir. Could it be a new manager effect wore off? I mean, look, we're the only club in Europe, in the world, who doesn't have a new manager bounce. Because the way I see it is that every time a new manager comes in, we get a new manager bounce. Unfortunately, our bounce is deflated from day one. You know, and this is not Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim's a fantastic manager, but bet your bottom dollar. I bet your bottom dollar that if Ruben Amorim loses the next couple of games, where obviously he's playing Man City and we got to play Arsenal again, we got Liverpool in the next month. I bet you some of those players, some of those fans are going to be saying, "Oh, you know what? He comes from Portugal. Maybe he's not that good. Maybe you know what? Maybe he's out of his depth." We're going to start hearing murmurs like that, ain't we? We're going to start hearing murmurs like that again. And here we go. Here we go. Round and that same round of roundy bouty, roundy castle. Of course, guys, in regards to that. You know what I mean? And what, you know, we can't be doing this at the moment. We got to really, really change something. And it needs to be quickly. Do you see us getting a result at Man City, guys? You know, really and truly. Look, we might beat Pelsen, of course, in the Europa League. Great. Yeah, we need to concentrate on the Europa League at the moment because you know what? It looks like that's our best avenue to the Champions League. I mean, at the moment, we can't even defeat Nottingham Forest. So, you know what? Where would Nottingham Forest finish in the Europa League? Bottom? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, and look, what I'm talking about is that, you know what? Man City is a game that is incredibly important now because we're really scarily on the lower half of the table. We're scarily getting closer to that bottom three, guys. It's starting to get a bit precarious, isn't it? We're starting to get a little bit nervous in regards to where we are on the table because if we lose to Man City, right, and you know what, if we lose to Liverpool, you know what I mean? I mean, we're in a bit of a pickle, ain't we? We're in a bit of a problem here. There's a bit of a problem going on right now. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? It is getting a little bit nervous, of course. Good morning, Kazi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Sunny. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Weekend wrecked. I mean, it isn't. Really. We're going to have big up JCF. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. You know, it's just filled with overhyped players who don't worth wasting time to watch. Kamali, this is the problem. No matter what player we bring into the football club, it's the same. We could bring in bloody Lionel Messi. We brought in Ronaldo. We brought in every single type of player. It's the same. It's the same scenario. It's the same story. What is it then? You know, because at the end of the day, look, De Ligt, he plays in the top level Champions League, Bayern Munich, Ajax, Juventus. You look at that. You think that Licha Martinez plays for Argentina. You know what I mean? A permanent fixture in their team, world champions, of course. Then you think about Lenny Yoro, one of the most up-and-coming young players wanted by Real Madrid and stuff. Like, you know, you look at that. You know, and then you think Ahmad, generational, you know what I mean, is a great player, been doing all right this season, you know, Ugarte, PSG, you know what I mean? And you look at it, Kobe Mainoo, England international, England permanent fixture, England, you know, and then, you know, I look at this team and I'm thinking to myself, you know what I mean, what is the problem here? Because no matter what we're bringing in, no matter what players we're bringing in, it just doesn't seem to work. Get rid of some of the dead word. Mr. Entitled is definitely one of them. I agree. Look, first things first, what we have to do, right? And we have to look at who's been here, who's been at the football club for 5 or more years, right? And even if it is a popular player, even if it is a player FC type of player, those players have to be at the club. They have to go. Get rid of them all. Dalot, Bruno, Rashford, gone. Sayonara, finished. We got to get Luke Shaw. We've got to get rid of all these players who've been there for years, number one, because that resonates. The mentality of losing, which they have been for the last few years, of course, decades, some of them, will resonate across the squad. So what we need to do is get those players out. If you don't want to replace those players, get some players from the youth team. I guarantee you those youth players would have done a better job against Forest yesterday. I guarantee you some of those youth players would have walked into that team yesterday and done a better job. Yesterday, I guarantee, because all it takes is a little bit of effort. That's it. That's what we want to see. The thing is, the simple things I didn't see yesterday. I didn't see effort, commitment, fighting for that badge, fighting for CAF. You know what I mean? Who passed away sadly. You know, they've done none of that yesterday, and it shocks me, to be honest with you. Big up, Matata. How you doing, my friend? Sal, when the time is not on your side, nothing works. Where Liverpool were about 30 years. I mean, 30 years. They didn't win the Premier League. Time was not on their side. It was Man United's time. Yeah, but you got to make your own time. We're the Real Madrid of England, guys. You know, we're not Liverpool. You know, Liverpool, at the end of the day, didn't have success because Man United were phenomenal. You know what I mean? Liverpool would have won the league, but Man United were just phenomenal. You know what I mean? Man United had Alex Ferguson, who was a genius. This shouldn't happen to teams like Man United. This kind of thing, 11 years. There's no other club bigger than Man United in the Premier League. There's no other club. We're the Real Madrid of the Premier League, and we're 11 years without a title. This is unacceptable. It's not about just his time. Oh, it's just their time. It's written in the stars. You know what I mean? It's not like that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Man United are Man United. I'm not seeing commitment. I mean, this is Nottingham Forest. This is not Liverpool. This is not Chelsea. This is not City. This is not Arsenal. This is Nottingham Forest at the end of the day. Nottingham Forest. You know what I mean? They just come from the Championship. And you know what? They're bullying us at Old Trafford. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Man United spent enough money to make this work. Man United have got enough quality to make this work. Let's not beat around the bush here. There is enough quality in that side. You know what I mean? We could talk about Liverpool, but Liverpool still won trophies. Liverpool still won the Champions League a couple of times. You know what I mean? Mad, isn't it? Big up, Pearl. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Tired of this roller coaster? Absolutely, it is a roller coaster, to be honest. Big up, Felix. How you doing? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. Good to see you guys. So even you should be pinpointed for stubbornly backing Garnacho. Garnacho, why am I stubbornly supporting Garnacho, Matata? What is wrong? What did my Garnacho do wrong yesterday, apart from set up a goal? And this is precisely the problem that we get some boneheads who blame Garnacho for everything, but not pinpointing the big problem, the big issue at Man United. They pick on individuals and go, him, it's Garnacho, and it's him, he's the problem. He's our top scorer, mate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And he's 20 years old. So we're going to blame a young player for the downfall of Manchester United? What are we going to blame? Are we going to blame that? Sorry, mate. I forgot that we were challenging for titles since 2013. Is it Garnacho's fault that we weren't doing that either? Man, I don't want to hear like people blaming young players. I can turn around and say Ahmad was crap yesterday. I could say that, but he's a young lad. He's a young player. He's going to improve. I'm not going to criticize him too much. You can say that. What did Ahmad do yesterday? Did he set up a goal? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's the new generation of fans who should be pinpointed, you know what I mean, who don't understand our culture, don't understand where we are, who come out with silly comments. Because that's what it is. Garnacho. I don't like Garnacho. I don't like Garnacho. Oh, I don't like Garnacho. Oh, I hate him. I hate him. You know what I mean? Honest to God. I swear down. Good. Big up, Sam. How you doing, my friend? The mistake Man United was sacking Ralph Ragnick. He saw everything and could have been bought quality players. I mean, I would have had him at the backroom staff, Sam. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I would have had him in the backroom staff. I would have. Because he's knowledgeable. He knew what the problem is. Absolutely, Sam. He knew what the problem was. You know what I mean? Open heart surgery. We all know the quotes, don't we? Open heart surgery, etc., etc., etc. You know what I mean? He knew. Unfortunately, whoever decided to get rid of him, it was a mistake. It was a mistake at the end of the day. And I would have kept him definitely. Of course, guys. He's starting 11. It's shit most of the time. It's better than Forest, though, isn't it, Kamali? It's better than Forest. Who have Forest got? You can't even name a player. Gibbs? Wood? That's about it, isn't it? You know what I mean? I mean, you swap Forest team with our team, we still lose the game. Felix, some of these players are not good enough, Sal. Some of this, they're not, but they're better than Forest. They're better than Forest. These players are better than Forest players, aren't they? I mean, who is good in Forest? Ruben is doing his best, what he can. Exactly, Paul. Exactly. And it's going to take time, right? We know it's going to take time. Of course, it's going to take time. I didn't think it'd be as bad as this in regards to losing to Nottingham Forest, but you know what? It is important that we look at it, that the real reality of the problem is absolutely huge. Do you know what I mean? The reality of the problem is huge. And I'm glad he took charge now. I'm glad he's at the football club now, so he can separate the bad eggs from the good eggs. I'm glad about that. I am really happy about that. And so by the start of next season, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see a better, more constructive team who are used to formation, the right players who are used to formations and stuff like that. So yesterday, Bruno left and we started playing well. No, we didn't. but Bruno's not good enough as well. You know, I'm not praising Bruno, but no, we didn't. Sal, the manager can be accountable for his selections, though. Now that Euro is back, he needs to be something different from Maz and Rose. At the end of the day, accountable for what? We can keep blaming managers. We can keep sacking managers. It's not going to make a difference. We can have Pep Guardiola, Klopp in charge. Accountable for what? Accountable for our team being better than Nottingham Forest. Which one of Nottingham Forest teams were getting in our team? How many of Man United players will get in Nottingham Forest team? Answer me that question. Answer me that question first. How many? And then come back to me. Because at the end of the day, those players on that pitch should be good enough to defeat Nottingham Forest. The problem is Sal Bruno is the only creator in the team. He went off. It was dead. Absolutely, Brian. And this is where we come to a double-edged sword, isn't it? That, you know what? We can remove Bruno from the team, but if the players are coming in and not doing as good or better, what's the point? What's the point? We can carry on blaming players and blaming Garnacho and blaming this. Who's going to replace him? Rashford? Rashford is going to replace Garnacho? You know what I mean? What did Rashford done when he came on? Nothing. Mad, isn't it? Absolutely. Big up, Sal. I wasn't upset last night because I know the team is mid-table at the moment. We're definitely mid-table, Kenny. Absolutely. Sal, we have to do like Chelsea did and overhaul all the team. Absolutely. If we see that they are having good fruits now, they are improving day by day. We have to do the same. Absolutely, Felix. Very good comment, mate. Very good comment. We need to look at what Chelsea done because Chelsea were in a similar position than us. Let's not forget they were in a bit of a precarious position like us, of course. You know what I mean? And we need to do what they did. Look at them and see what they did. They got rid of a lot of players, even if they got rid of a loan and stuff like that. They completely overhauled their team, of course, guys. You saw we created a couple of chances, Matata. You need glasses, mate. Rose tinted. Absolutely great. Speak up, Jim. How you doing? Sal, bless Sunday. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Rasta, we're 2 coach relegation. Not comfortable at all. Rasta, we got Man City next, bro. We got Man City next. That's going to be a bloody difficult game, isn't it? Because they're going to be up for it. They'll be smelling blood. You know what? They won. Didn't they win yesterday? No, they drew yesterday 2-2, down to 10 men, of course. So they'll be looking to bounce back against Man United. We know that, isn't it? Of course. We're losing to City as well. God blimey. Absolutely madness, isn't it? Collier in return. Let's have a look. The mid-term should be Agate and Casemiro. Yeah, we've been saying that for a long time. Me and Elite Ball have been saying that for a long time. Bruno competing for 2 spots and Collier when he returns before Rude steals him from Leicester. Yeah, we need to change there. Definitely. We need to rethink what's going on with Kobe Mainoo, guys, as well. Has Kobe Mainoo been playing well in your opinion? Yeah, they keep looking at particularly. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, Jim. Spot on. Feeling our mutual pain today, I guess we are going to have to be patient while the manager confirms to himself what we already know. He should listen to us, JCF. I would, honestly, if I was him, I would listen to it because he would know. He knows what's going on with the team. It's so disappointing to see 19-year-old Mainoo can keep his head calm for players 10 years older than him just to refuse to do so. The problem is leaders is in the dressing room. Our flip-flop. We ain't got no winners in the dressing room. Punjal, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Punjal Chaudhary. We ain't got winners in the dressing room, my man. We ain't got no winners. Which one of those players can you look at and say, you are inspiring. You've done this in the game. You've done that. These guys kind of get inspired by Cristiano Ronaldo, guys. How are they going to get inspired by Bruno Fernandes? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. Felix, we have to remain with Rasmus, Garnacho, Mainoo, Yoro, Garte, Ahmed, and age mates there. Bring the other young players and make the team them in the future. Absolutely, Felix. Good comment, mate. At the end of the day, people don't understand that these players are 20 years old, right? All right. And they're blaming him for what? You know, Rasmus and Garnacho were the only bright spots with Ugarte yesterday, weren't they? You know what I mean? And we're blaming the wrong players here. You know what I mean? Really and truly, we got to look at the more experienced players, the more experienced pros that have been there for years, of course, guys. We should save him time and anguish. Gonna be another long process, and I just hope I hope he succeeds. I really like Ruben Amorim. I think he's a fantastic manager. Absolutely. That Man United were a better team than Liverpool during the Fergie. No one can beat Fergie. That is just a one-off. You know what I mean? He was there 26 years, of course, Kenny, isn't it? You know what I mean? Nothing to do with me. Time, absolutely. Kenny, spot on. It's the poison that they get from the so-called senior. Get them out. I still remember Jose said about these guys when they play, where they play, if they play. Yeah, Tesla. He's spot on with that comment. I don't agree with everything that Jose Mourinho said, but he was spot on with that comment. Where do they leave? When they leave, where do they go? Of course. Big up Sal, you legend. Big up Jim, of course. He's 20, mate. He's upset. He's upset, mate. He wants to play. That's a good thing for me. If he was happy, smiling, I would be a bit concerned, mate. If he was coming off the pitch, of course. Age doesn't have nothing to do with the footballers who are paid that should be playing, but it does have something to do with it, mate. It does, Kamali. It does. He's our top scorer. What are you going to say? You know what I mean? He does have something to do with it. Yeah, I'm enamored with Garnacho. Scruffy Uncle Jim, talk about us customers. You think why did everything bother after 50 years? I mean, yeah. I mean, putting season tickets up and stuff like that. Guys, don't forget to drop a super chat. I read everyone's comments out. Don't forget to drop super chat. Support the channel. Become a member. Of course, getting your voices heard, guys. Absolutely. Otherwise, you wouldn't do another channels. Don't forget. Good morning. My assessment, these players need to adapt and learn the basics. We're a long way off, but we have the right coach. Sure. Absolutely, Jamie. Good comment. United players, the unmanageables. There should be a film made about it on Netflix, shouldn't there? The unmanageables, of course. The unmanageables. It should be. If Amram, after 5 games, does not realize that Rashford, Garnacho, and Mount will struggle in the 2 to 10s, then they are adverse to. I mean, yeah, the formation is a difficult one. We have to talk about the formation, of course. Of course. Absolutely. Now, let's go to it, guys. Let's go to some comments. I'm going to read some of Ruben Amram's comments, guys. Let's go to it. So, all right, let's have a look at this. Spare me a second, guys. So, Ruben Amram said, I had this, and it's worse in the beginning in the sporting. I had this period in regards to performances. I had this period in the sporting. If you are experienced in football, this happens with a lot of clubs. Exactly. Experienced in football. Yeah, absolutely. It happens with a lot of clubs. We have to continue doing the same things and improving the team. I agree. Absolutely. And the team needs, I mean, he's got a lot of work to do, hasn't he? They are trying to reach perfect solution. They need time to train 2 weeks, and the focus is don't lose the ball with sloppy passes. They have more confidence to take the ball, plus play between the lines against low blocks. You have to take risks. Exactly. And this is something that we're not doing at the moment. We're not taking enough risks, of course, guys. It is, you know what, we're not brave enough, in my opinion. It will be a long journey, but we want to win. When you lose one game, it's hard for everybody, and I can understand that. I feel it in the stadium after the first goal. Yeah, people are frustrated in the stadium. People have had a decade of this, haven't they? They've had a decade of this. You know what I mean? On why Xerxes and Rashford haven't started, he spoke on why Rashford and Xerxes haven't started after scoring against Everton. You have to focus on the opponent and what you see in training. There you go, guys. Training, right? Every detail counts, and then you want to use different players with different characteristics. Yes, that's why we got a squad. You know what I mean? You have to use different players for different scenarios, of course, guys. The same words I had against Everton, I have today. Continue focus on our performances. We need to improve in a lot of aspects in the game and do the same things tomorrow in training. It's improvement day by day, guys. Keep working hard. You know what I mean? That's what we got to do. The only thing we can do, guys, is do that, is work hard, of course. Speaking about Onana already saved us a lot of times. We have to find a way when this happens to Onana or Alti or Tom, or turn it around the game and score to help our goalkeeper. The same way he saved us against Ipswich. It's true, but you know what? People are frustrated because Onana isn't prone to mistakes, of course. And this is a little bit of a worry when your goalkeeper keeps making mistakes, of course. On a tough start, let me say, it's not a surprise because we come in the middle of a lot of games. It's really disappointing for the fans after so many times with disappointments. But we are here to do a job, and we'll continue doing the same thing to improve the team. It is, you know what, I mean, what can we do? What can we say is that we have to carry on, don't we? You know, we have to carry on, and we have to carry on doing the things. You know, we have to carry on working hard, of course, guys. It's exactly what we have to do. It's exactly, what else can we say about that? Do you know what I mean? Is that just keep working hard, and we hope that it changes, of course. We have put Harry Maguire on because of set pieces to control more, who was winning at all the first balls. The only way to attack Nottingham Forest was transitions to try and win first and second balls. When Harry was on the pitch, he won all the first balls. Yeah, Harry did okay when he came on the pitch, if I'm being honest with you. But you know what? People are going to be frustrated because we lost the game. And that is obviously the issue with that, of course, guys. On substitution, Bruno was too tired, and I wanted Mason Mount to play that position on second midfielder who opens a bit on the left. And he didn't, did he? At the end of the day, Mason Mount, he's on trial, he's on audition, Mason Mount, and I don't think he did good yesterday, if I'm being honest with you, when he came on. Didn't really make a change in the game. About keeping players fresh, Josh Xerxes plays with Rasmus Højlund to have combinations. Lenny Yoro goes off because we can't give them too many minutes. Yeah, it's about balance, guys. These players have been injured. Let's not forget, a lot of these players have been injured. A lot of these players are, need fitness. Fitness is a big problem at Man United at the moment. We are in the start of something so big that we pay attention to every detail. We already know it's a big job, so we have to continue. Absolutely. A difficult match. In regards to the match, it was a difficult match. Started very badly with a goal at the beginning, and then we controlled the match, and we had a lot of situations. We managed to snatch the equaliser, and we were ready to go for the victory, but we started very badly again. 2 goals, then we tried a lot. And this is one thing I want to point out, that Man United start second halves in particular very poorly. Very poorly. We do that a lot, guys. We've been doing that under Erik ten Hag, and before Erik ten Hag, we've been doing the same thing a lot, of course, guys. We didn't have many situations score. Tough game in a tough moment, but we have to continue the job. I mean, you know what? We have to change. Something has to change, guys. Something has to give. Phil Jones was talking about Man United, ex-Man United player, of course. He said Nottingham Forest have done brilliantly this season. The way they have set up when they go to the big teams. They did it against Liverpool. Let's not forget they beat Liverpool, guys. They really stilled them. They really stifled them and closed the spaces down. It's not just about their defensive structure. They have the ability to carry a threat on the counter as well as they did today. I think they were terrific. That was Phil Jones. He said, I like to give Andre Onana some credit and say the ball deviated a little bit, but it's hardly a knuckleball. He should have saved it. In regards to Onana, that is Phil Jones saying that the goalkeeper, Onana, should have saved it. Rasmus Højlund has been speaking as well. He said, a lot to take in, but we need to deal with it. We are Manchester United and we need to do better. There's a lot of games left, but it's not an ideal situation. But we need to try and stay positive. Absolutely. Annoying goals, of course. We need to do better, specifically on corners. Absolutely. Bloody hell, we're crazy. We've conceded 3, haven't we? 4. We're conceded too much now, but I'm sure we'll improve. Yeah, we better. Absolutely. I think maybe the opponent was thinking we lacked confidence at the corners. I think it's more about us being in a new position, new ideas, new set piece coach, but we need to understand this. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, there are a lot of changes at Man United. We do understand that. But at the same time, I'm going to turn around and say it's not in the Forest. It's not the Forest. You know what I mean? I would turn around and say that, of course, guys, if I'm being honest with you. Those are the quotes from yesterday, guys. Some of the major quotes from yesterday or to yesterday's game, of course, guys. Absolutely. Big up, big up. Let's be sincere. The coach, big up with Chichi. The coach isn't United problem. It's the players. The vision of United coach is clear and he needs back him to get his own players. He needs his own players, guys. This is the whole problem when you change a manager. You're going to have a backlog of players that are not his. That's going to be the issue, isn't it? When you have a backlog of players that are not yours, that's obviously the problem, isn't it? You know? That's far. Guys, hit the likes. We all know it's going to be a long, bumpy journey. Let's support the manager because we know the players, they don't even give their best for CAF. Absolutely, Tesfa. And it's something I mentioned yesterday, something that I stressed on yesterday, that they couldn't even put an effort in for CAF yesterday, which was sad to see, guys. It was very sad to see, of course. Very, very sad to see. Rasta, the derby is going to be very, very painful. I agree. Jim, I'm glad I didn't watch the game. I decided to stay at 3:30 to watch, but fell asleep. I woke up 5:30 a.m. You saw the highlights. Just not good enough, man. It wasn't good enough, was it? It wasn't good enough, guys. We know that, of course. Jim, So we would lose the next game to City the way we are playing. I mean, I know, I hope not, Jim, but you know what? It's looking a little bit precarious, isn't it, Jim? It's looking a bit nerve-wracking. Of course, guys, we need to do something, of course. Mount and Xerxes did nothing, absolutely, when they came on. So what we're going to say, guys, we're going to take off Garnacho. We're going to take off Bruno when the players who come in are worse. You know what I mean? Does it make sense at the end of the day? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Jim, I trust the manager the best from these mediocre players. You should also. Jim can do what he likes. Matata, of course. What's with all these ads, Sal? Are you telling us out? Are you sending us out too? JCF, let me tell you something. Right? I do this content, you know what, for you guys for free. Yeah, I do this content without any super chats, without any memberships, without begging for memberships, without begging for super chats. I am not a charity, guys. I am a, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm going to have some big names on this channel, you know what I mean, that, you know what, are fantastic. Some of the biggest journalists in the world are coming on this channel, guys. You know what, at the end of the day, I read everyone's comments. Yeah, I give my effort. So basically you're saying that I cannot put ads on my videos or anything because, you know what, you can't sit through an ad to watch me. Come on, JCF, think about it. At the end of the day, is my time not worth anything? You know what I mean? Is my time not sitting here talking about it and stuff like that and debating with it and stuff like that? Is it not worth anything? Do you know what I mean? When I have Fabrizio Romano on the channel in a couple of weeks, then people are going to start begging for for me to get to you, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So you know what? Come on, guys. None of you are subscribed to the channel. You're not showing any love with the super chat. So you know what? I could easily go like that and say that, isn't it, guys? Isn't it? But at the end of the day, look, I'm a humble guy and I do this for the love. You know, do it for the love. So if there's a few adverts on my channel, it's not selling out anyone. It's a job. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, look, I put ads on my channel, one ad here and there because of that. You know what I mean? And big up GCF. Ex-Man United sick note, low at Sal. Ex-Man United sick note. I agree to that to extent. Goals for George. I agree with that. I agree that they do slow it down. We're too slow in moving the ball around, in getting the ball out from defense. We're very, very slow. We're very, very slow. Absolutely, goals for George. And we need to move up. Sometimes I'm seeing players walking on the pitch, and I don't want to see players walking on the pitch, guys. I really don't. You know what I mean? I don't want to see players walking on the pitch. Not first came with a game plan. We were too predictable. I agree, Kazi. I agree. Jim, don't tell me what to do like I don't tell you. I don't like it when you have overseas. You try to watch the game through for amateur. There you go. Matata, you've been told, mate. Fnatic 8, the lack of concentrated levels early in the game. So, yeah, I mean, we've had this. Fnatic 8, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Fnatic 8, we've had this problem for a very long time. Even under Eric Ten Hag, we've had this problem, of course, guys. We've had this issue going forward, of course. So, guys, if I go through the actual team ratings for me, this is coming from my Twitter and my Facebook accounts. The ratings that come on are, you know what, bleak, absolutely bleak, guys. This was the ratings of the game that were predicted on my Facebook and my Twitter. Basically, Anana, poor yesterday, conceded 3 goals, not great, 5.3, should have saved a couple, 5.3. Licha Martinez got a 5.3, was poor, slow on the movement, slow bringing the ball from out of defense, as was De Ligt. He got a 5.5. He was slow moving out. He was a bit weak in defense, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at his game against Arsenal as well. He's had a couple of games. He's looked a bit shaky, if we're being honest. Lenny Yoro 5.6. Lenny Yoro 5.6. Felt he did okay. We got to remember that Lenny Yoro has been out for a long time. And for him to come back in that first team was an extremely difficult game for him. But he's going to have to learn quickly. He's going to have to learn fast. Diego Dalot was absolutely dreadful, guys. Absolutely diabolical again, in my opinion. Awful. 5.5 for Kobe Mainu. Fairly average. Didn't put a foot wrong. But you know what? Head and shoulders above a lot of those players in that team. But you know what? Still wasn't great. But you know what? An average score from him. Ugarte 7, again, tidy, passing the ball around, saved us a number of times in that midfield, if we're being honest, and was good, was starting to come into his own, starting to get a lot better, of course, guys, absolutely. Ahmad is 5.4, poor yesterday, if we're being honest. Again, you know what I mean? He's been poor last couple of games, if we're being honest. And this is where you have to rotate. This is where you have to understand that young players are inconsistent, guys. Young players will always be inconsistent, and you have to understand that young players are not always going to perform to the highest level. And that's what we have to understand. That Ahmed is a young player. He will get better. Garnacho set up the first goal, did okay, and again, an average score of 5.7. Bruno, 5.6 for me, awful. Again, you know what I mean? Average, nothing special, but for me, awful. Got to do a lot better as a captain. Got to inspire those players. And you know what? At the moment, I don't think he inspires anyone. I think we should move our captaincy. I really do. I think the next captain should be someone else. Rasmus Højlund, 5.7, scored a goal, of course. You know what I mean? Did okay, you know, but nothing special. Again, average score, of course. Lots of oranges in there, guys. Lots of oranges. We need more greens, guys. We need more greens. Ugarte is the only one, of course, who got a green for me. When we look at the substitutions who came in, poor. Rashford, 5.4. Maguire, 5.8. Did okay when Maguire came on, for being honest. Mazraoui got a 6. I felt that he was one of our better players when he came on. Mazraoui shouldn't be dropped again, but we needed to rest him, of course. Mason Mount, 5.3. Xerxes, 5.3. I mean, you know what? Poor. Lots of oranges in there. Too many oranges in there, guys. Absolutely too many oranges. Man of the match for me was Manuel Ugarte. For me, yeah, with the 7.0 scoreline and my Facebook following and my, of course, Twitter following and Instagram followers have rated Manuel Ugarte as the man of the match with a 7.0. Saved us a number of times. Still lost the game, though, which was obviously not good enough, of course, guys. Ruben Amorim got a 6 for me. Average score. Can't get much more. You know what I mean? Can't really give him much less, but we lost the game, guys. And I mean, obviously, you're ultimately going to be judged on the games that you lose, isn't it? And that's the thing, you know. And you know, I would love to give him a better score, but you know what? You're going to be judged on that, of course, guys. Looking at my tweet yesterday, I said Ruben Amorim has my full support, and I fully back the decisions he chose to make regarding these players. In just a few weeks, he has likely gained all the insights he needs. Now it's over to him to take charge, guys. And now this is when the going gets tough. This is what we're talking about. Now it's over to Ruben Amorim to change things, and the players are not performing for him. Obviously, need to improve, of course, guys. Absolutely. Big up. Let's have a look at some of your chat. The lack of concentration levels in the game. Absolutely. Salam Nagashik, how you doing, my friend? We are probably the best fans out there. 13 years of embarrassment, and still we're here supporting every game. Absolutely, Ashak, the best fans in the world. GCF, Onana is a bag of shite. You could cut your losses and get rid. Worst ever. I would reluctantly agree, JCF, with that. I would reluctantly agree, and I would say that you're right. He's just too unreliable. He does one good thing, and then he has a couple of bad things. He hasn't been bad this season. He's been actually one of our better players this season, but he does a couple of good things, and then he does a couple of bad things, and this is the problem with him, of course. Absolutely. Something went wrong with Nana. He saved the hardest shots and fumbles when the dip. Yeah, that's the problem, Ashik. And you know what that is? It's a bit like an outfield player. Like, you know what? A good player, a great player is judged on doing the simple things right. And at the moment, he's not doing the simple things right. Our players lack football IQ because before the first goal, instead of Onana organising his ball, he was behind the post drinking water after 1 minute and got to his position before the delivery. Wow, goals for George. That is actually a very, very interesting point, mate. Not prepared, drinking your water at the wrong times. That shouldn't happen at the top level, guys. It shouldn't be happening at the top level. And goals for George is absolutely spot on. It shouldn't be happening at the top level. You drink your water when it's time to bloody drink your water. You're a bloody goalkeeper. You're not running around. Why do you need to drink your water? Get in position and concentrate. Do you know what I mean? Concentrate. That's what you should be doing. You know, Man United, they do this, right? A lot of our players do this. It's not because they're mentally strong. It's because they have low IQ. That's why they do that. Big up JCF. Much love, brother. Long time supporter, of course. Absolutely. Great to have Matilda fans in 92 and I have longer than you, but absolutely. There you go. Sal's got to eat, pay the rent. Absolutely. Not about paying the rent, Kazi. I'm good. my friend. That's why I'm living in Abu Dhabi doing this and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, what it is about principle, my friend. It's about the principle of it. It's the principle of what you know what at the end of the day, you know what I do and stuff like that, etc., etc., etc. And I'm on these streams every single day. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's 2 times a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day sometimes, guys. You know what I mean? And you know what? All for the love of the club. You know what I mean? And yeah, definitely support the channel. That's all I can ask for you guys. Absolutely. Thank you. Sal, you're a legend. Thank you so much, Tesfart. You are a legend too. Thank you very much. But absolutely. Sal, we love you, but you are at times stubborn with your ideologies because I don't agree with you. Just because I'm stubborn doesn't mean that I am stubborn with my ideologies. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I'm stubborn. I agree with a lot of people in this chat, most people, good and bad. You know what I mean? I agree with a lot of people. At the end of the day, I've seen a lot of football in my life, along with Jim. I've seen a lot of football, more than you, Matata. You know what I mean? And maybe you should look at that a little bit and reevaluate Man United. Read some books, go on the online, YouTube, things like that. Information is there, Matata. Have a look. Absolutely. Who makes decisions about small players making giants during free kicks? Who makes decisions about, I mean, the set piece coach, mate. The set piece coach will do that. Absolutely. The set piece coach. Talk, mate. Prove it. Matata, big up. Matata, kindly don't about me supporting the team. I followed them back and then, I mean, there's at the end of the day, big up. For me, I think I have seen many goalkeepers starting for Schmeichel and Onana. He is the worst for me, but not only because of goal, but even when set pieces at the last minute, he takes 40 seconds. What a joke. I mean, you got a good point there, Tesfar. Absolutely good point, my friend. I love you, Sal, brother. I love these streams. Whether we win or lose, I respect you. You lift up our spirits. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for the appreciation. Absolutely. Matata, why are you responding to yourself? Why you got 2 accounts? I mean, just because you got 2 accounts agreeing with yourself, that's a very sad existence. We hyped Onana for his routine saves. Yeah, it's true though, Darko. You're gonna have to admit it's true. I remember begin to feel. I'm a supporter of Onana, and you know I agree. You know what I mean? I remember begin to feel that if he does not change things in the wing backs, attack and defense. I don't understand the academy players are not getting a chance. Garnacho is an impact sub, not Xerxes. Xerxes poor as well. Onana he didn't improve the game. He didn't do. Garnacho did better than him, and he's done better than him this season. Onana is too cold and relaxed, not shouting, organized. He's too much of a joker, Darkro. Do you agree? He's too much of a joker, if I'm being honest. Too much of a joker. Absolutely too much of a joker. Absolutely. In my opinion. You know what I mean? Too much of a bit of a clown, if I'm being totally honest, if I'm being totally frank with it. You know what I mean? No disrespect. Sometimes, even before the game, you know what I mean? Trying to rev up the players and stuff like that and whatnot. You know what I mean? Not good. You know what I mean? Not good at all, in my opinion. Absolutely not. Guys. True Sal, Onana is a joker. Too much joking around. Too much playing around, of course, guys. Absolutely. Xerxes is an engine, and he needs to warm up before getting a mate. It takes him 25 minutes to warm up. Bloody, that guy is slow. Mind you, don't worry about Sal's comments or mine. We know who we are and who you support. Big up. I mean, I'm one of the most openly thick-skinned people in the world. And just because you don't agree with my opinion doesn't mean that we're sensitive. Just because, you know what, when a person feels the need to go online, right, and have bootleg accounts, catfishing, basically, fake accounts to justify their opinion, right, sad existence, mate. That means your opinion's dud at the end of the day, isn't it? Matata, you got to improve, bruv. You got to improve, mate. Mate, no, calling people names and stuff like that. Mate, you know what? I leave this place right now, right? I leave this chair right now. And do you know what I do? Do you know what I do? Do you know what I mean? You know, and at the end of the day, I respect every single person on this chat, because at the end of the day, they're my community, they're our community. This channel is ours at the end of the day. Let's not forget that. Okay, so one thing we say, we all have different opinions, but judging people's personalities, judging people's authorization as a Man United supporter is not the one. I'll give him another chance, Kazi. One more chance, Kazi. You know what? You know what? Who said forgiveness is divine? Forgiveness is divine. I'm a forgiving person. If you come on here, you want to say it, it's fine. But you know what? Just don't be irritable. You know what I mean? Matata's upset. You know what? I'm over it. The game. I'm moving on. At the end of the day, Pilsen is the next game, of course. All right, Matata, we forgive you, bruh. We forgive you. We forgive you. Last one, man. Last one. We forgive you. I mean, I don't just obviously block people for that, but you know, that is thick skin, Matata. That's what's called thick skin at the end of the day. But guys, you know what? Man City next week. Man City next week, guys. What are we going to do? My head's going to explode, for goodness sake. How are we going to get through this game, guys? When we can't get through Nottingham Forest and we can't do it, how are we going to get through this game? Please tell me. Give me some reassurance, guys. Tell me. You know what I mean? How are we going to get through this game if we can't even beat Nottingham Forest? I mean, what are we going to do? Get rid of 11 players? We're going to get rid of 11 players. We got a new manager now at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We can have our favourites. You know what I mean? Look, I'm going to give you the honest assessment, right? And this is a very, very honest assessment of you guys, right? From my experience watching Man United, the class of 92, etc. I was a teenager watching them. You know what I mean? So one thing I would say is that Garnacho is not the finished article, right? He's 20 years old. He's not the finished article. Should he start? No. But then again, you look at his goal and assists, he's better than the players that are coming on. When Xerxes comes on, he doesn't really do much. So what do? Mount doesn't do much. So what I would do, guys, and I want to know your opinion about this. What I would do is I would put Ahmad as that behind the striker. I'll put Ahmad behind the striker. I'll put Mason Mount behind the striker. Those two behind the striker, guys, because they're natural. They're natural, right? And I put Ugarte and Casemiro in the midfield as a double pivot, right? And that's what I would do because I feel like we need to solidify the midfield, guys. We need to solidify it at the end of the day. And I think we're too wide open at the moment, in my opinion. Too like weak, in my opinion. And that's what I would do. Mount and Ahmad as the behind the striker. If you want to play Xerxes or Hoyland, we can rotate that. You know, we can rotate that. Garnacho as an impact sub. Yeah? Garnacho as an impact sub. I mean, on the right, we should play Mazruri. On the left, when Luke Shaw comes back, it'd be Luke Shaw. But on the left, it's going to be a difficult one, is it? On the left, we don't really have it. I'll play Harry Amas, guys. I really would try. I really would try and play Harry Amas, guys. That's what I would do. Absolutely. Actually, we learn from each other because of different opinions. Sometimes my eyes become wide open, but I actually listen to ignoring the person. Absolutely. Goes for George. That's why you've been here for a long time, George. And that's why I like you, mate, because you don't agree with me all the time. But you know what? I respect your opinion, my friend, as usual. Defense is out of shamble when he can goals. Absolutely. But you know what's going to happen, GK? Defense does take time to organize, doesn't it? You know, it's going to take a few more games to play. You know what? You need a settled back five, whatever we got, settled back three. We need a better settled back three, guys. It's difficult to think what it is now, settled back four. I'm usually saying settled back four. We need a settled back three, guys. A settled back three. And that needs to play with each other for a long time. We can't keep chopping and changing things because then we're not going to get used to playing with each other, are we? So we need to obviously change, of course, and carry on keeping with the same formation, of course, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely, my friends. Absolutely, my friends. I'll just read this out. Jim, big up Kazi, Brian Foskett, big up Sada, big up everyone here, of course, legends. Goals for George, big up, big up, big up. Matata, at the top of the show, I said that we have a conversation to make, right? And the conversation is this. What is the actual problem? Because we look at the team and we look at Man United, right? And let's be honest, mate. We're better than Nottingham Forest. Regardless who plays yesterday, we are better than Nottingham Forest. And this is what I'm trying to stress. No matter who plays, we should be capable of defeating Nottingham Forest at home. And that is the issue I'm having. Big up, Brian. Of course. Whom to start the match? Probably by Amram will got an idea by trying. I mean, sometimes it has to be an unpopular decision. Sometimes it's going to be a decision that we don't agree with. But I think that we need to change it up front. I'm sorry, guys, but we need players in their natural positions, and that's what I'm saying. When you think about Garnacho is not a number 10. He's not. He doesn't play behind the strike. He's a winger, isn't he? More or less. So you know what? We have to look at that and maybe think about playing these players at impact substitutes. Maybe be a little bit cute with who we're playing and the tactics and stuff like that. Of course. I'm a number 10. I'm saying from the back as number 10. I'm saying from the back. Absolutely. I take Ahmad as a number 10. I think he's our most creative player, and we're losing a lot when Ahmad plays there, when plays in a wing back position. I will play Mazraoui as that wing back and Amas. If you know what, at the end of the day, look, this is why we need an Alphonso Davies, and this is why we need a Frimpong. This is why we need these type of players, because we need that type of player that can fit into that system, don't we? Tesfa. Some people should talk about only the club, not about another person. Move on, mate. Sal, again, you're a legend. Next week, honestly, I feel we are going to have a very different little chance. Tesfa, I hope you're wrong. Thank you for the lovely comment, by the way. I hope you're wrong, but I have to agree with you, Tesfa. I'm fearing the worst at the moment. I don't see anything from this Man United side that suggests that we're going to go to the City ground, Etihad, sorry, and win against Manchester City. Of course, it's a tough one. Absolutely. Big up, Asif. How you doing? How you feeling, mate? Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. Absolutely. Big up yourself. Matata, where's your lineup, mate? All right. Okay. The Turkish keeper, Bayender, Euro, Delit, and Maguire. Okay, you leave at Leacher. Okay. Fair enough. Casemiro and Ugarte, agree. Mainu, Maza. Mainu, where would you play Mainu? Casemiro and Mainu, so you play three in the middle. He doesn't play that formation, though. Mazda as a left wing and Ahmad as a right wing. Højlund up front. He doesn't play that formation, though. He plays a 3-4-2-1. That's the formation he plays. So he doesn't play a 3 in the middle. That's the problem. These players have to get used to that, of course. Big up Asif, of course. But you know what? I respect your team, my friend. So, what is Mount good at? At United, he looks at average. And I can't remember a game in 2 years where he has 6 or 7. He always seems to hurry and rush. Goals for George. You know what? I'll be honest with you, bro. I'll be honest with you, George. I've been saying this for a long time as well. Even when he played for Chelsea, I didn't feel like he was a good player. I think he was a decent player, but I didn't feel like he's that level. He had one good season for Chelsea, became Player of the Year, won the Champions League. Okay. But at Man United, what we judge him on is what we judge him on now, that he's not quite on that level. And this is exactly what I've been saying. You know, I would play Ahmad behind the striker myself. I really would. I would play Ahmad behind the striker going forward. And the other positions up for grabs. I really do think. I think Bruno hasn't played well as well. And this is, you know what, one thing I would say is that in regards to criticizing players, you know what, I like this because you're bringing up an experienced player. You're bringing up Mason Mount. You know what I mean? It's Mason Mounts of this world, the Rashfords of this world, the Fernandes of this world who are not performing. And these are the older ones, the older players, the older statesmen who should be performing for the football club. And that is where the issue lies. And then if we're going to bring up a young player, you know what I mean? When there's a lot more fundamental issues with that team. You know what I mean? And you know what? I would get rid of all those old guards who've been there 3 or 4 or 5 years and added on Mason Mount because I don't think they're good enough. It was a bad signing. I knew it back then. I said it back then, of course. Jim, Sal, brother, I do agree with you. I thick skin, brother. I am actually defending you and supporting you, brother. Openly saying it. Actually, I know, Jim. Absolutely. I know, brother. I know you always do. I support you as well, bro. Absolutely. I am thick skin. Actually, just we call out ball when we hear it, of course. Kazi, we're better than most teams in the Premier League. Absolutely. Squad-wise, definitely Kazi. So there's no excuses. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So, my brother, what on basis you saying we are better than Forest? Just asking, please. Mate, do you really have to ask why we're better than Forest? How many of those Forest teams will walk into Bayern Munich's team? How many of that Forest team will play for the world champions, Argentina? How many of that Forest team will walk into PSG's team? Ask yourself. How many of that Forest team, if they were transfer listed tomorrow, right, would be wanted by Real Madrid and Barcelona? I can say a few at Man United. Malasia, now the big up, my brother. Starting on that until we bring in new guys. Malasia is Masruri. Malasia will safeguard it. Absolutely, I agree, mate. I'm also okay with Masruri as a wingback. So yeah, I would take that, my friend. I would take that. Funny enough, Everton played better than Forest, but we lost 4-0. We're average yesterday. I agree. In the first half an hour, Everton were rubbish. They were rubbish. Man United were rubbish. Sorry, Man United were rubbish. And we were lucky we got a goal, of course. Absolutely. Keep the like button ads. Thank you very much, GK, you legend. Thank you. The Abu Dhabi ground. Big up. Abu Dhabi ground. Yeah. Man United's new ground. We need dynamic, strong defensive steward too. Yeah, I mean, we need to be a little. I mean, I don't know. We're not scoring enough goals. This is the problem as well. We can dust this out. This is now, I feel, not the Forest is a newly pro team last season, and the beaters explains the standards of United players. A manager or effort. As if it could be effort. It could be implementation. It could be overrated. It could be a number of things. Showing agree with your words. Sal, showing agree with your words. I'm feeling confident next week, but I will try it. I mean, Jim. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you. Fair play to you. I feel like trolling that this Mumbai boy GK. Why? Ahmed Mazraoui should start the game. They are our catalysts. Yeah, I agree. I agree, guys. Guys, thank you everyone for your time. Thank you everyone for joining the stream today, guys. You are absolute legends. The lot of you, of course, guys, absolute diamonds. Thank you, everyone. You great people. I shall see you later on for Chatterbox. I'll be back, guys, for Chatterbox this time. Of course, Chatterbox wasn't here yesterday, but I'll be back this afternoon for Chatterbox, guys. 2 p.m. UK time. You absolute legends. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy your day. It's Sunday, guys. Whatever you're doing, go to church, go to the mosque, go to everyone and pray for Man United, please. Make a dua for Man United, you guys. Have a fantastic afternoon. Have a fantastic evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. Take it easy. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy.